Hello, my dear students. A very warm welcome to all of you in Shri Jayendra Rank Zone. I am your friend and mentor for the subject Business Economics. In this lecture, we'll begin with Chapter 4, that is Price Determination in Different Markets. And in particular, we'll start with Unit 1, that is Meaning and Types of Markets. All the concepts will be covered in the coming series of lectures. So let us begin. This is Lecture 1 for Chapter 4. Let's see the learning objectives of this chapter. At the end of this unit, you will be able to understand number 1, explain the meaning of the market in the term economics, describe the characteristics of 4 basic market types, provide explicit real examples of 4 types of markets, and will be able to explain the behavioral principle underlying these markets. Let's see a quick overview of this chapter. Price determination in different markets, the behavioral principles that relates to different markets, price determination in terms of perfect competition, in monopoly market, in monopolistic market, and oligopoly market. Let us quickly see the meaning of market. We can say that market is a place where buyers and sellers meet and bargain over a commodity for a price. This means what? That all the buyers in the market, all the buyers and sellers of goods or services who influence the price, that means they are in the market. There are several elements of market, that is buyers and sellers, commodity, product, service, bargaining for a price, knowledge about the market condition, and so on. So let us see the meaning of market over here. We have seen in chapter 1 that people cannot have all that they want because they need to pay a certain price for goods and services, and there is scarcity also. So the resources at their disposals are scarce. We have come across some goods which are free or have zero prices. That is, we need not make any payment for them. They are free goods or free goods provided by nature. Provided by nature. For example, air, sunlight. These are called free goods. Free goods are being abundant in supply, do not have scarcity, and need no cost to bargain them. In contrast, we can say that economic goods are scarce in supply in relation to their demand and have an opportunity cost. Unlike free goods, they are exchangeable in terms of market and command a price. So economic goods are not free goods. We need to pay certain price for economic goods. Economic goods are not free. Price needs to be paid for them. Price needs to be paid for it. What do we understand by the term price over here, and why people pay price? Why there is a need to pay price? In common parlance, we can say that price signifies the quantity of money necessary to acquire a good or service. Price cannot money value, that is purchasing power of an article expressed in the terms of money. In other words, we can say that price expresses the value of a thing in relation to money. This is the only difference. Price expresses what? The value of a thing, but in relation to money. That is the quantity of money for which that product could be exchanged. So value in exchange or exchange value according to Ricardo means command over commodities in general or power in exchange over purchasable commodities in general. Let us continue. We need to distinguish between the two important concepts, namely value in use and value in exchange. That means what? Value in use refers to usefulness or utility of a product. That is, the attribute which a thing may have to satisfy human needs. Value of exchange or economic value is the amount of goods and service which may obtain in the market in exchange of a particular thing. It is measured by the amount someone is willing to give up in other goods and services in order to obtain a good and services. In a market economy, the amount of currency, that is dollar, rupees, yen, etc., is a universally accepted measure of exchange value, that is economic value, because of the number of units of that money that a person is willing to pay for something tells how much of all other goods and services they are willing to give up to get that item. In economics, we are only concerned with exchange value. Considerations such as sentimental values mean a little in the market economy. Sentimental value is very subjective and reflects an exaggerated judgment about a worth of a commodity. Let us take an example. If a person says his best friend like his best friend that I like your car, and if you give it to me, then I will be lifetime obliged to you. In this case, lifetime obligation is a sentimental value and it has no meaning in monetary terms. Exchange value is determined in the market where exchange of goods and services takes place. In our day-to-day life, we can say that we come to across many references of market such as oil market, wheat market, vegetable market. These have connotations of a place where buyers and sellers gather to exchange goods at a price. In economics, market are crucial focus of analysis, and therefore we need to understand how this term is used. A market is collection of buyers and sellers with the potential to trade. This is the definition of market. The actual or potential interactions of a buyer and seller determines that determines the price of a product or service. If more number of buyers wanted that product and there is a less number of sellers, obviously as per the law of demand, the price of the product will be high. A market need not be formal or held in a particular place only. These days, we know that the markets have no geographical boundaries. Markets are virtually available. Example, ebay.com, amazon.in. These are also virtual markets. Second-hand cars are often bought and sold through newspaper advertisements. Second-hand goods may be disposed of by listing it online shop and by placing a card in the local shop window. In the present high-tech world, goods and services are effortlessly purchased and sold online. Online shopping has revolutionized the business world by making nearly everything people want available by a simple click of mouse. While studying about the market economy, it is essential to understand and how price is determined in the market. Since this is done in the market, we can define market simply as those of buyers and seller of a good who influence the price. The place is known as market. You can write it over here. Market is a place where buyer and seller meet and bargain over a commodity. For what? For a price. Market equals all buyers and sellers of goods or services who influence the price. Who influence the price. Okay? Let us continue. The elements of markets are number one, buyers and sellers, a product or service, bargaining for a price, knowledge about market conditions, and one price for a product or service at a point of time. So at a given time, generally a price prevail in the market. The buyer should have the buyer should have the knowledge about the market conditions. The buyer is having right to bargain. There is a product and service in the market, and buyers and sellers are available in the market. So these five things are the elements of a market. Let us continue and see classification of market. Markets are generally classified into products, product market, or factor market. Product markets are a market for goods or services in which the household buys the goods and services they want from firm for a price, obviously. And factor market, on the other hand, are those of which firms buy resources that they need, that is land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship, that is the factors of production, to produce goods and services for the society, for the market. While product markets allocates goods to consumers, factor market allocates productive resources to producers and help ensure that those resources are used efficiently. The prices in factor markets are known as factor prices. In economics, generally, the classification of market is made on the basis of a geographical area, time, nature of transaction, regulation, volume of business, and type of competition. Let us see the classification of markets. Draw this small chart along with me. Classification of markets. On the basis of area, on the basis of time, on the basis of nature of transaction, on the basis of regulation, on the basis of volume of business, and on the basis of types of competition. On the basis of area, we can say that local market, regional market, national markets, and international market. On the basis of time, very short period market, short period market, long period market, and very long period market. On the basis of nature of transaction, spot market, future market, spot market, future market. On the basis of regulation, regulated market, unregulated market, unregulated market. On the basis of volume of business, wholesale market, wholesale market, retail market, retail market. On the basis of types of competition, perfectly competitive market, perfectly competitive market, and imperfect market, imperfect market. I hope you understood this chart well. Let us continue now on the basis of geographical area. The market is classified on the basis of geographical area. From the marketing perspective, the geographical area in which a product sales should be undertaking has vast implications for the firm. On the basis of geographical area covered, market are classified into number 1, local market, regional market, national market, and international market. Let us see the local markets. When buyers and sellers are limited to a local area or a local region, the market is called local market. Generally, highly perishable goods like vegetable markets or bulky articles, the transport of which over a long distance is not possible or it is very uneconomical because a lot of transportation charges need to be incurred, command a local market. In this case, the extent of a market is limited to a particular locality only. Just see this example. Locally supplied services such as hairdressers and retailers have narrow customer base, and that is why they are treated as local markets. Let's see now the regional market. Regional market. Regional markets cover a wider area such as a few adjacent cities, parts of states, or clusters of states, etc. The size of the market is generally large as compared to the local market, and the nature of buyers may vary in their demand characteristics. For example, Mekhela Chador, that is the traditional Assami sari, is primarily worn by women in the Assam and adjoining areas. So Assam and nearby adjoining areas, this market is a regional market. The next is national market. When the demand for a commodity or service is limited to national borders, that is boundaries of a country, we say that the product has a national market. The trade policy of the government may restrict the trading of the commodity to within the country only. For example, Hindi books may have national market in India. Outside India, one may not have the market for Hindi books because people don't prefer to read it. Why? Because in India, the language over here, Hindi is generally accepted language in India. So people buy Hindi books open heartedly. In US, the people don't buy these books open heartedly. They prefer English language over Hindi over there. Let us continue and see international market. A commodity is said to have international market when it is exchanged internationally. Usually, high value and small bulk commodities are demanded and traded internationally. For example, For example, gold and silver are examples of commodities that have international market. The above classification has become more or less outdated as we find that in modern days even highly perishable goods also have international market. Let us continue. On the basis of time, market is bifurcated on the basis of time. Sir Alfred Marshall conceived that time element of the market, and on the basis of this market is classified into number 1, very short period market. Market period or very short period refers to a period of time in which supply is fixed and cannot be increased or decreased. Commodities like veggies, flour, fish, eggs, fruit, milk, which are perishable in nature and which don't have more than 2 3 days shelf life, and the supply of which cannot be changed in a very short period of time, come under this category, that is very short period market. Since supply is fixed and very short period price is dependent upon the demand, an increase in the demand will raise the price and vice versa. The second is short period market. Short period is a period which is slightly longer there as compared to very short period. In this period, the supply of output may be increased by increasing the employment of variable factors like labor, which is given as fixed factor, and state of technology. Since supply can be moderately adjusted, the changes in the short period price on account of the changes in demand are less compared to market period. So short period market is a market where supply is changed with the inclusion of variable factor of production like labor. The state of technology and the fixed factor do not change in a short period. We had already learned that. Let us see the long period market. Long period market. In the long run, in the long period, all factors are become variable, whether it is a fixed factor or it is a variable factor. So all the factors are variable. And the supply of commodity may be changed by altering the scale of production. As such, supply may be fully adjusted to changes in demand conditions. The interaction between long run supply and demand determines long run equilibrium price or normal price. Very long period or secular period is one when secular movements are recorded in certain factors over a period of time. The period is very long. The factors include the size of population, capital supply, supply of raw materials, etc. That is long period market. This is the third type of market, the bifurcated on the basis of the nature of transaction done. There are two types of nature of transactions: spot market or cash market. You pay the cash, take the goods, and another is future market, which is forward market. Let us try and understand this on the spot market or cash market. Spot transactions or spot market refers to those markets where goods are exchanged for money, either immediately or within a short span of time. For example, grains sold in the mandi at a current prices and cash is payable immediately and thus at a part of spot market. Second, forward or future market. In this market, transactions involve contracts with the promise to pay in the future and deliver the goods at some future date. For example, purchase of foreign currency contract at a future rate from bank is the example of future market. So I believe you must have understood the meaning of spot market and forward market or future market. So spot market in the sense you pay the cash, take the goods, and forward market in the sense what? That there is a future market, the transaction will take place in the somewhere in the future within 2 3 months, within 6 months from now. The next type is on the basis of regulation. On the basis of regulation, first is regulated market and the another is non-regulated market or unregulated market. Regulated market in the sense what? Organized market. In this market, the transactions are statutorily regulated so that to put an end of UTP, that is unfair trade practices. Such markets can be established for specific products or a group of products. For example, exchange, stock exchange. Stock exchange is regulated by Securities Exchange Board of India, Securities Exchange Board of India, SEBI. So stock market needs to follow SEBI guidelines for their operation. That means it is a regulated market. What is unregulated market? It is also called free market as there is no stipulation on the transaction. Example, weekly markets, Haat Bazaar, etc. That is unregulated market. Sunday markets, you can say Sunday markets. The market is classified on the basis of volume of business over here. This is the fifth type, wholesale market and retail market. Wholesale market in the sense what? The wholesale market is a market where the commodities are purchased and sold in bulk or in large quantity. Transactions generally take place between the traders, that is B2B, business to business. Example, Maruti Udyog buys tires from MRF for the Maruti cars, for the Maruti Suzuki branded cars. This is B2B. Retail market, when the commodities are sold in small quantities or pieces, one or two pieces, it is called a retail market. This is a market for ultimate consumers, that is business to consumer, B2C. The next is on the basis of competition. Based on the type of competition, market is classified into perfectly competitive market and imperfectly competitive market. Perfectly competitive market and imperfectly competitive market. I believe you must have understood till here. This was a short intro of the chapter, and now we are moving to the next concept now that talks about types of market structures. Types of market structures. For a consumer, a market consists of those firms from which he can buy a well-defined product. For a producer, a market consists of those buyers to whom he can sell a single well-defined product. If a firm knows precisely the demand curve it faces, it would know its potential revenue. If it also knows its cost, it can readily discover its profit that would be associated with the different levels of output. Therefore, we can say that, therefore, can choose the output level and maximizes the profit. But suppose the firm knows its own product cost and the market demand curve for the product does not know its own demand curve. In other words, we can say that it does not know its own total sales. In order to find this, the firm needs to answer the following questions. How many competition are there in the market selling similar products? If the firm changes its price, will its market share change? If it reduces its price, will other firms also follow it or not? There are many other related questions that need to be answered. Answer to the questions of this type will be different in different circumstances. For example, if there is only one firm in the market and the whole of the market demand will be satisfied by a particular product, but if there is two large firms in the industry and they will share the market demand in some proportion, a firm has to be very cautious of the reaction of the other firms to every decision it makes. But if there are, say, more than 5,000 small firms in an industry, and each firm will be less worried about the reaction of other firms to its decision because each firm sells only a small proportion to the market. Thus, we find that the market behavior is greatly affected by the structure of the market. We can conceive of more than 1,000 types of market structures, but shall focus on few theoretical market types which mostly cover high proportion of cases and actually found in the real world. These are: number one, perfect competition, monopoly, monopolistic competition, and oligopoly. We'll begin with perfect competition first. So perfect competition is characterized by many sellers selling identical products to too many buyers. So we can say that single seller, we can say that large number of sellers and large number of buyers are present in a perfectly competitive market. Next is monopolistic competition. It differs in only one respect, namely, there are many sellers offering the differentiated product to many buyers. For example, shampoo manufacturers. Students, in perfect competition, the products are similar to each other. The products are identical. Over here, the products are heterogeneous, differentiated products. Third is monopoly. It is a situation where there is a single seller producing for many buyers. Its product is necessarily extremely differentiated since there is no competition. There is no competing seller producing products which are close substitute. For example, Indian Railways. Students, we do have bus service and flight services to work as a substitutes, but they are substitutes, they are not close substitutes. And over here, we are talking about close substitutes. I believe you understood. Let's begin with the concept of total revenue, average revenue, and marginal revenue. We'll begin with the total revenue. So basically, total revenue refers to the amount of money which a firm realizes by selling a certain unit of commodity. Total revenue in the sense what? Price multiplied by quantity. Let us take an example. Supposingly a firm sells 500 units of a product for 20 each. 520, that means what? 500 units multiplied by 20 rupees equal to 10,000 rupees, and this is the total revenue. Let us see the text now. If a firm sells 100 units at 10 each, what is the amount which it realizes? It realizes 1000 rupees, which is nothing but the total revenue of the firm, that is price multiplied by quantity. Thus, we may state that the total revenue or the total expenditure incurred by the purchaser of the firm product refers to the amount of money which a firm realizes by selling certain units of commodity. Symbolically, total revenue can be expressed at TR equal to P multiplied by Q. TR over here means total revenue, P is the price and Q is the quantity. This may be represented by the following diagrams. In figure A, just see it over here. In figure A, when the price of the product is 30 rupees, the quantity sold is 40 rupees. When the price is 30 rupees, the quantity sold is 40 rupees. So 30 multiplied by 40, 30 that is price multiplied by quantity, that is 40, equal to total revenue, that is 1200. That is 1200. Panel B shows that total revenue curve of a competitive firm having a perfectly elastic demand. Perfectly elastic demand in the sense what? Output is rising, the total revenue is rising. Since the firm can sell any quantity of the market at determined prices, the TR curve is linear and starts from the origin. I believe you understood this. Let us see average revenue now. Average revenue. So average revenue is basically, it is the revenue earned per unit of output. Average revenue is the price of 1 unit of output. That means what? Price is always per unit of commodity. Average revenue is calculated. So TR divided by Q equal to AR. How TR is calculated? P into Q. So we can say that average revenue equal to TR by Q, or average revenue is equal to P, that is price. Let us take an example over here. The total revenue, say for example it is 500. Let us take an example over here. The total revenue is 500 and total units is 20. So 500 divided by 20, that leads to 500 is the total revenue, and over here it is 20, that is quantity is 20. So 25 per unit, rupees 25 per unit is the average revenue. Average revenue is the revenue earned per unit of output. It is nothing but price of 1 unit of output, because price is always per unit of commodity. For this reason, we can say that average revenue curve is also the firm's demand curve. Symbolically, average revenue is TR upon Q, that is total revenue divided by Q, and total revenue is P into Q. P into Q equal to total revenue. Average revenue equal to TR upon Q. So average revenue equal to P into Q by Q. So average revenue equal to P. I believe you understood this. If, for example, a firm realizes total revenue 1000 by sale of 100 units, this implies what? The average revenue or price is 10 rupees, 1000 by 100, or the firm has sold the commodity at a price of 10 rupees per unit. I believe it is clear till here. Let us begin with the marginal revenue. So marginal revenue is the change in the total revenue resulting from sale of an additional unit of a commodity. Thus we can say that if a seller realizes rupee 1000 while selling 100 units and 1200 while selling 101 unit, the extra realization from 1 unit is 200 rupees. We can say that the marginal revenue is 200 by selling an extra unit. We say that the MR is the rate of change of total revenue resulting from sale of an additional unit of output. So MR equal to change in total revenue divided by change in quantity. MR equal to marginal revenue, TR equal to total revenue, Q equal to quantity, delta stands for small change. I hope you remember this formula. We had learned this in cost also. Marginal revenue at nth unit equal to total revenue n minus total revenue n minus 1. N minus 1. That means what? Marginal revenue at fifth unit, total revenue at fifth unit minus total revenue 5 minus 1, that is 4. So total revenue 5 minus total revenue at fourth unit. Supposingly at fifth, the total revenue as fifth unit is 1200 and total revenue at fourth unit is 1000. The additional revenue over here is 200 and this is nothing but marginal revenue at fifth unit. I believe you understood this. Let us continue. In order to understand the above concepts clearly, look at table 2 in column 1. The number of units sold of commodity X is given. Column 2, the total revenue fetched by selling different units. In column 3, the marginal revenue is shown over here. So just try to observe it properly. Unit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is the total revenue 10, 18, 24. So 10 by 1 is 10 average revenue. TR by Q. 10 by 1 is 10. Over here it is 18 by 2. Over here it is 24 by 3. Over here it is 28 by 4. Over here it is 30 by 5. Over here it is 30 by 6. Over here it is 28 by 7. Over here it is 24 by 8. Over here it is 18 by 9 and over here it is 10 by 10. I believe you understood how we calculated the average revenue. Marginal revenue TRN minus TRN minus 1. So 18 minus 10 8, 24 minus 18 6, 28 minus 24 4, 30 minus 28 2, 30 minus 30 0, 28 minus 30 minus 2, minus 4 minus 6 minus 8. So marginal revenue is first positive then 0 and then started declining. Just note that over here total revenue is maximum when 5 units of X are sold, that is 30. It stays constant for one more unit and it begins to fall. This means what? Average revenue keep on falling, showing inverse relationship between the price and quantity demanded. It represents the demand function of X to the firm. Marginal revenue keeps on falling, then it becomes 0 and then become negative when the total revenue started declining. Also note that the total revenue at any particular point of output is the sum of marginal revenue. I think you already understood it. Total revenue is the summation of marginal revenue. Supposingly at this point, if you sum all the marginal revenue, you will get the total revenue. 10 plus 8, 18, 18 plus 6, 24 plus 4, 28 plus 2, 30. Over here, the total revenue is 30. So total revenue is the summation of marginal revenue. See it over here. The question which arises over here is why the marginal revenue due to the third unit, that is rupee 6, not equal to rupee 8 at which the third unit is sold. The answer is that when price is reduced for selling an additional unit, the two units which could be sold for rupee 9 before will have to be sold at reduced price of rupee 8 per unit. The total loss on previous two units due to the fall is equal to rupee 2. Thus, we can say that for any falling average revenue or falling average price, marginal revenue is always less than the price. So in the case of constant average revenue, that is price schedule, the marginal revenue is equal to average revenue. or uniform price. The TR stands for total revenue, Q stands for output, MR stands for marginal revenue. You already know it. So over here it is MR equal to change in the total revenue divided by change in quantity. I believe you already know it. When the demand curve for a firm is a normal downward sloping firm, there is a well-defined relationship between AR, MR and TR. This can be shown by the following figure presenting total revenue, average revenue and marginal revenue. The average revenue curve in panel B over here, the average revenue curve in panel B is sloping downwards, depicting an inverse relationship between the price and the quantity. So obviously, if the price of a product will increase, the quantity sold will decrease and vice versa. Marginal revenue lies between AR curve, showing that the marginal revenue declines more rapidly than average revenue, and total revenue increases as long as marginal revenue is positive and declines when marginal revenue becomes negative. So when marginal revenue, as you can see over here, there is a decrease in the, first of all, the average total revenue is increasing at increasing rate. Over here the total revenue became constant and then total revenue started declining. Firstly, the marginal revenue was falling and average revenue was also falling. But in this case, marginal revenue is below than average revenue. When marginal revenue is zero, total revenue is maximum. So there is no change in the total revenue. Over here, the marginal revenue is zero. When total revenue started declining, the marginal revenue becomes negative. But average revenue can never be negative because it is price and price can't be negative for a product. I believe you understood. When the marginal revenue is negative, total revenue curve initially increases at a diminishing rate due to the diminishing marginal revenue and reaches to maximum and then starting to fall. Over here, it increases at diminishing rate, then became constant, reaches maximum and then started to fall. When marginal revenue becomes zero, the total revenue is maximum and after it, marginal revenue become negative and total revenue started to fall. Just see this diagram properly, see this graph properly. The relationship between total revenue, average revenue and marginal revenue is shown in this graph. Let us continue. It may be noted over here that in all forms of imperfect competition, the average revenue of an individual firm slope downwards, as in these market forms, when the firm increases the price of its product, the quantity demanded will decrease and vice versa, because there is an inverse relationship between the price and quantity of a product. Under perfect competition, however, since the firm are price takers, average revenue or price curve or demand curve is perfectly elastic. Perfectly elastic average revenue curves means that the individual firm has constant average revenue or price. When price remains constant, marginal revenue will be equal to average revenue and thus AR curve, that is average revenue curve, and MR curve will coincide and will be horizontal. In figure 3, this is figure 3, just see it over here. The marginal revenue and average revenue equal to price, that is P, and it is horizontal to the, and it is parallel to the x-axis. Average revenue and marginal revenue curves under perfectly competitive market is parallel to the x-axis and it is a horizontal line. So AR equal to MR equal to P. Okay, so students will keep this lecture till here only. We'll keep this lecture till here only. Let us take a quick recap of what we have done in today's class and we'll wind up. So we have seen the chapter overview. Then we have understood the meaning of market and different types of market, the elements of market. We have tried to classify the market on the basis of their types. Types of market structure: perfect competition, monopolistic competition, monopoly and oligopoly. We have seen its features. Then we have shifted to the concept of total revenue, average revenue and marginal revenue. We had seen its important graphs. Until here we have done today. That is average revenue, marginal revenue of a perfectly competitive market. I believe you had understood it well. Let's resume further in the next class. We'll keep this class till here only. Thank you.